Tell me about, because obviously we have a few mutual kind of mates, really, don't we?
Yeah, well, we met at the IFS,
IFS thing. That's exactly what I was going to touch on. My friend Darren's name is down here. How did that happen?
So,
because that's when my respect for you went through the fucking roof when you did that, because most people would have just blocked Darren.
Yeah.
They would have just blocked him, right? You didn't.
No, well.
So what happened?
So I can't really remember how it all started, but we're way back in the day, probably you're talking around about 5 or 6 years ago now, I'd promoted I think it was Skinny Coffee potentially, one of the shitty diet products.
Or the tea that makes you shit your pants.
Yeah, I mean, I've promoted them all. I'm quite open about it. But obviously, I had kind of the whole fitness industry come at me after that, and it was really aggressive. It was really, it was awful. Like, I felt like I'd killed someone, and I didn't really realise the kind of depths to it until someone said to me, would you be okay with your future daughter buying products like this? And I went away and I kind of thought about it, and I was like, oh, God, you're so right. Like, I wouldn't want them to do that. And I didn't have the education at the time in fitness and nutrition. And I just felt really bad. I was like, God, could I have potentially caused somebody to have an eating disorder because I've promoted these products? And that still to this day weighs really, really heavy on me. Yeah. And that's why I'm so kind of, if anyone's promoting fucking Herbalife or whatever, I don't stand for it. Like, I don't want to see it. We all know what we know now, and we know better. You don't have to bleep
that part out, Mark. I have to bleep that
part out. So you know all those diet products that include like the shakes and things like
meal
that.
replacement
meal
shit.
replacements. Not fond of people promoting meal replacements because we all have the education now. It's out there. We've got.
I'm not really going to bleep it out, by the way.
Last thing for me. But you know what I mean? It's just we have the education now. We know that these products, the way we lose weight is calorie deficit and live in a balanced fucking lifestyle. So anything else, you're spending your money for a load of crap, basically, in my opinion. So yeah, now that we know, it's fine. But the way that Darren came about it was he messaged me and he wanted me to go on his podcast. And I was like, yeah, not a problem. Like, ask me what you want. Like, I'm really open and honest about the whole situation. It would be great to speak to you. I think this was in lockdown. And that podcast, honestly, like, it did me the world of good. And it put me on a platform where all of these people who had once seen me promote all of this crap in the past were then seeing me in a different light and really truly understanding why people promote those diet products. One, due to lack of education. Another, when you've got a load of work that just completely dries up and you've got bills to pay. I mean, what's more important to you? What are you going to think? If you can't put food on the table, your mum's boiler breaks or whatever, you've got no money coming in, you've got pressures coming from absolutely everywhere, and somebody's offering you $7,000 to promote a bloody tea that you've literally seen work. The pounds have dropped on the scales. So in your head, you're thinking, well...
You think it's the tea.
It's fucking worked. Yeah. So why are people getting angry about it? Because it worked, and I couldn't understand in my head at that time. Now I know it was water weight and shit. But I didn't know that at the time. I thought I'd lost fat. Yeah. And yeah, I went on his podcast and everyone just was reposting it, retweeting it, talking about it. And then I got asked to go on IFS after that to discuss it in more depth.
That's so cool. So would you say that incident really got you into the fitness thing, or were you kind of into it before then? So
I was already into it before then. So I'd been doing, in lockdown 1, I put myself through, I did the nutrition coaching course. I did the PN1, the precision nutrition one.
Shit, guess what?
What?
I did that.
Did you do that?
Like 2005 or something. Oh, hi, John Barardi. John Barardi still do it.
Yeah.
That's mad, isn't it?
So I did that, and do you know what? I felt like, you learn what you learn in that, but whatever I learned was on the job in real life health and fitness with Tyler, and he taught me everything I needed to know. But I got the qualification anyway, just to say that, you've got it.
Yeah.
And then when lockdown 2 came about, I was like, right, I'm going to do my exercise to music qualification because I wanted...
Guess what? I've done that.
You've done it as well? Stop. So you could do V-Step Vibes with me.
Yes, but like in 1999 or something, I used to work in Gosforth.
Yeah.
And the challenge that I had to teach the whole exercise to music facing the mirror.
Yes.
Because when you do it the other way, you go the opposite feet in it. So I was terrible at it.
Do you know what? It's such a lost thing, like the actually exercising to the beat. Nobody does it anymore, and I love it. And my clients love it, and everyone on Full Fitness loves it. And it's literally, I would say, our best session of the week.
Really?
Everyone, it's such it's like a girly thing, isn't it? And they love it. So, I did that.
It's kind of like dancing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's like dancing. You can really get that high heart rate without having to do like burpees, chest to floor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people want to do that. I don't want to do
high
that.
Impact shit.
High impact, high energy, fun, super cool music. Like everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So I did that qualification, passed, and then I think I'd just done the nutrition one as I'd done the podcast with Darren. But yeah, I was already really into it, and I was saying, I've made the mistakes that I have in the past. I can't change it. I can't turn the clock back.
Is this body thing's always been a challenge for you though, hasn't it?
Oh, massive. I've been called a fat slag since day one. Since being like literally 8 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but would you say you've got your head around it now, or?
I would definitely say, I went through a lot with like eating disorders and things like that, and being in Geordie Shore, we would go in there would be no access to healthy food whatsoever. We'd be having kebabs all the time, drinking every night. We genuinely did drink every single night. That's not good for anyone for 6 weeks in like a big block, you know. And then we'd come out of there and we'd always come out like half a stone heavier, naturally. It's like going on a bloody girls' holiday. So every time I'd come out, I'd have lost a little bit of weight. I'd go back in, put it all back on. And I was just like, how can I get control of what I'm doing? I was like, and that's when I turned to bulimia. Yeah. And I had probably about a 4 or 5 year battle with bulimia. I didn't call it that because I was overweight. I thought people who were overweight couldn't have eating disorders. I didn't understand. Because you always see images of really skinny where you can see the waves who have bulimia. And I didn't ever call it that. I thought, how dare I say that it's bulimia when I'm not even anywhere close to being in a dangerously low weight. And even now, like I still like cringe a little bit when I say it. I'm like, can I really class myself as that? But I did everything that includes. So yeah, it's a mental disorder. It's nothing to do with what you weigh. Yeah. And I only found out that actually the majority of people who suffer with bulimia are overweight. Oh shit. And it's mad because I would have never thought that. Yeah. But then that stopped me from seeking help because you don't get taken seriously. And I just didn't really know it was a problem. It was just something that I did to control the weight at that time. So how did you get over that and handle that? Jacob. Oh, really? Yeah. So I first met Jacob. This was like 5 years ago, 5.5. And we were on a date night. And I was like, I just went and made myself sick after we went for food. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I just do this to like try and keep the weight off. I was still overweight at the time. And he was like, that's not okay. You can't do that. Whereas my ex kind of never really questioned me. And I was like, oh. And I really got taken aback by him being like concerned. Yeah. And from that moment, I just stopped. Shit. Didn't do it again. So it sounds like you kind of just needed someone to give a fuck. Yeah. Someone to know and someone to give a fuck. Someone to actually care. Because the people who knew weren't really that asked. It was just like... Or they didn't believe you. Well, yeah, I think it's that. There's probably a little bit of that, I think that happens with mental health as well. But if no one's actually seen you do it, they're not really going to think that it's a big concern. That's interesting. And sometimes anything that's to do with mental health, because it's not visible, people don't... And because I was overweight, no one's going to be concerned about me. Yeah. They're not going to think, oh, well, she's close to being admitted to hospital because I wasn't. Well, yeah, it's bad.